Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 21 of my 6-player free-for-all Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 5 Emperor AI that are each on their own separate team, and I'm playing as the Orc Warlord, Crognash the Brutal. In our last episode, we continued sending our armies west, as we are looking for the 3 remaining opponents that we have yet to encounter in this game. You can see here we've got Dominus leading a decent stack, and then we've got Crognash as well, leading an army that's coming up kind of a few movement turns behind Dominus here. And then we've got a number of other miscellaneous units kind of moving along with them as well. And last episode, we actually did encounter this Naga dwelling, which you can see right here. And we're actually in the process of doing a quest for them to eliminate these frost units. We've got a frost dragon and a frost giant that need to be killed off. So we're going to try to do that this episode and then continue pressing west, and hopefully we'll encounter some of our opponents. However, before I dive into this episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shoutouts to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the last episode. The first of those comes from Casper Eklund, and Casper pointed out that I have this stack of units here from last episode that I had used to clear out, I believe, this Flow Rock Quarry. And I was talking about, last episode, I was kind of hemming and hawing over what to do with them. And I was thinking about sending them here through this Shadow Gate, and then that would put them in the Shadow Realm right here, and then I could kind of do some exploring. And Casper suggested that what I could actually do is, hopefully either by going through this Shadow Gate, or if I don't do that, going above ground on the surface, I could move up and then maybe make it up to this city here, such that I can actually reinforce it and rescue this beleaguered Draconian Flamer who has been kind of being besieged turn after turn here. Well, he's kind of been defending this city. So it would be nice to get some reinforcements to him, and that might actually present me with an opportunity to do that, depending on if there's a movable, or should I say, if there's an accessible path in the unexplored area here to let me actually go up there. Casper also pointed out that the Naga dwelling I've encountered is actually very beneficial for me as a warlord. And there's a few reasons for this, but one of them is that the tier 2 units that are produced from this structure, the Slither and there's a pikeman unit as well. This is the infantry one. But they actually are very, very good units as they have regrowth. If we look here, you can see that they have regrowth, which means that the unit will heal at the beginning of every turn 20% of its health, which is extremely powerful. And that's every every round of tactical combat, so very, very powerful. And then they also benefit from the upgrades that my other units get as a result of being a warlord, so the upgrades to my infantry, like martial arts, for example. And so they are extremely powerful units, very, very nice to have as a warlord. So I'm going to do my best to try and get control of this dwelling one way or the other, either through diplomacy or through direct hostile takeover. The next set of comments comes from Can Dennis. And Can pointed out, this was actually a great reminder for me, but in the first few episodes of this series, I encountered this, and you can see it right here, this structure that my cursor is on. This is a Heart of the Blight. And when I explored this earlier, I believe there was a Shadow Stalker and some other elemental units that were kind of above my pay grade at the time. However, Can suggested that now that I'm a little bit more established, obviously as we're a lot further in the game, and I've got a number of powerful stacks of units, like for example this group right here, I could actually go back and clear it out, and then I could use my builder, or create another builder. I think, yeah, my builder's down here, but I could send a builder up to eventually build a fort right here, and actually get control of this Heart of the Blight for some extra casting points, and the benefit of improving my unit's morale in Blight if they don't like it currently, as that would remove any penalties to them not liking the terrain. So that's a great suggestion there from Can, and a great reminder. I'd completely forgotten about this Heart of the Blight. The next set of comments comes from Ivan Engel, and Ivan pointed out, he had a comment that was kind of a great overview of the dungeon battle that I did in the last episode, and he actually pointed out a number of things that I think are really worth talking about here. So the main thing that he talked about is that something I could have done in that battle, I was facing a number of Manticore Riders, and I had, in my stack, I had a couple of, actually we'll jump over to where it was. I believe it was this stack here, although the knight wasn't a part of it and I had a priest in here. So I had a number of phalanx units, and then I had some Manticore Riders of my own. And what I ended up doing is kind of bunching up and letting the Manticore Riders come to me, and then, of course, they swept right over my units and went right for my priest and killed him off, and I was able to finish them off without losing anybody else, but it wasn't the smoothest battle. Ivan pointed out that what I could have done instead is paid attention to the movement, the maximum movement area of the Manticore Riders, and instead put my phalanx units up front to kind of entice them into attacking. So maybe use one unit, put him right at the edge of where they can attack, so put them so that the Manticore Riders could charge in and attack him, and then that would goad them into attacking me, and then once they've attacked, they're no longer going to be in defense mode, which means they're going to be then more susceptible to follow-up attacks from my other phalanx and my Manticore Rider units. And again, I think that's a great strategy there. Something else that Ivan kind of mentioned here, or actually, excuse me, this was Can Deniz responding to that comment. Can pointed out that another benefit of the strategy that Ivan proposed is that these phalanx, because they're a pikeman and they have polearm and first strike will actually mitigate some of the, almost cancel out the charge bonus that the Manticore Riders get as they come charging in to attack me. So first strike kind of cancels out that, and I'd kind of forgotten about that. So great reminder there from Can, and a big thank you to Ivan for that excellent breakdown of kind of some of the things I could have done differently to improve my performance in this dungeon battle. And again, thank you to Casper Eklund, Can Deniz, and Ivan Engel for the excellent comments. Keep them coming, guys. They're really appreciated. All right, let's dive in here. So we're going to start with, we're just going to make sure we've kind of moved everybody up here by Dominus and Crognash here, and we kind of have. So I think what we'll do, I don't remember exactly what we had sort of moved and not moved in the last episode when we left off. So let's just kind of jump around here. Apologies for the constant flipping of the camera here, but I just want to see if we have any units left that really haven't moved. No, I think we're pretty good. I seem to recall we had done most of the turn when we left off last time. Now we can use our builder, so let's do that. Alright, so we want to build ourselves another bit of road here. So we're going to build a road like this. There we go. And then we're going to continue. Oh, and that took all of our... Right, so we built that bridge, which took all of our movement. No problem. So that's actually good. So now next turn with this builder, we'll continue making the road over to our throne city. And that's going to, again, allow units easy access to get out from the throne city and over towards Toldran or to Lyrian, or kind of out of this area here. All right, let's see. So that's, again, I believe that's pretty much most of our units that have moved now. Just kind of wrap this up and make sure. Yeah, looks like we've pretty much moved everybody. We did have this little guy moving in to do some scouting. So let's have him go up and do some of that. We can grab some gold while we're here too, which is nice. Okay. Just kind of jumping around a little more. Yeah, Urkan did his thing. He cleared out that Sphinx Temple. I was really bummed last episode because unfortunately, due to some of my decision-making, I lost that Archon Caster that I had in this stack, which was a bit of a shame. However, we're still a very powerful group here with Urkan. Oh, and our dwarf here can do a little bit more exploration. Maybe stay out of the domain of that giant city, or dwelling, I should say, just so that they don't get mad and try to attack me. Yeah, and I think that's about it. So yeah, that covers pretty much every unit. So we'll pick our research now, and we've actually got 501. I think Can pointed this out in his comment as well, but we've got 501 surplus knowledge here to spend. So we got some some choices to make here. Okay. Well, oh boy, I'm kind of tempted to grab Entwined by Shadows. This is an extremely nice spell to have. Once we cast it, it would mean that all friendly dedicated to evil units gain +1 resistance, plus 20% spirit protection, and +2 shock damage. That is super, super nice to have. The only problem is if we grab this one, we won't really have enough to really do anything else in a single turn. Or, I mean, with what we've got, we'll only have we'll have 101 left. and everything is more than that, so... That might not be the most efficient use. Instead, we could grab, like, Terraformer, Phoenix Warrior. So let's see, if we did that, that would be 100 plus 100, so it'd be 200, 80 and 40, so it'd be 320. So we'd be at 320. So then that would leave us with... We could actually do that and then do a 180, if there's any that are 180. Besides Phoenix Warrior, no. But we could do like a Death March. That would be relatively efficient. That would get us 1, 2, 3 different things. But boy, Entwined by Shadows would be great to have. It's just, it's a nice boost there to our units that are dedicated to evil. The only caveat here is that we're in the process right now of casting a Bone Dragon, of summoning a Bone Dragon, and that probably won't be available since it's going to take us 3 more turns. We're not going to have that ready to go for a while, so we're not going to be able to start summoning Entwined by Shadows for a few turns, so doing it right now actually really wouldn't be all that beneficial for me. Now, on the other hand, what if we did, like, Warfare and Terraformer? So that would be 40, so that'd be 400, so that would be kind of the same situation as Entwined by Shadows. I think we'll do that. I think we'll just start clearing out some of these other options. So let's do Terraformer. Now we've got 361. We'll do Phoenix Warrior. And then, oh, here, now we've got a few other choices as well. We've got to Cleanse the Source. This transforms target Corrupted Farm, Corrupted Spring, Haunted Well, or Well of Souls to a Great Farm, Spring of Life, Inn, or Well of Life, respectively. That's actually not a bad one to have, although I don't know. I'd have to go through and look if we have any cities that are currently affected by that. But again, that would be a very efficient use of our knowledge, so maybe we'll do it. Just to kind of get it out of the way. Alright, so now... Okay, now we've freed up a lot of spaces here, and we've got lots of different options. We've got Conquerors Feast. This is a strategic spell. The enemy in domain and enemy at the gates morale penalties are twice as effective against the caster's enemies. In addition, the caster's units require minus 25% upkeep cost outside of the caster's domain. Interesting. That could be kind of nice to have, actually. We can have that one done in 2 turns. However, I think I'd like to then do Entwined by Shadows, get that one kind of taken care of such that maybe after that then we'll do Advanced Logistics. I want to get that one going. Again, that just makes it so that our walking cost on roads is reduced so that we can move further on roads each turn. I think I'll do Entwined by Shadows, though. Okay. Now, let's do some production. So we've got our Goblin Outpost underground here, and we need to figure out what to produce. So, we've got quite a surplus of gold, but that'll get used up pretty quickly if we're not careful. This little city, it would be great to actually start expanding it a little bit. Maybe we'll just do a Builder's Hall for starters, get that going. Over to Carbonok now. Now, we've been using Carbonok primarily to produce Phalanx units, and that's because we've got the Pillar of the Stylites there, meaning our pikemen get projectile resistance and +2 spirit melee damage. And I'm kind of tempted to just keep that going. Although it might actually be nice to develop the city just a touch more while we kind of can here. We could do like a storehouse or a temple. The storehouse might be nice, just make it grow a bit faster and get this dungeon in our domain. Although, I mean, we're already able to produce our Phalanx units in 1 turn. So you know what? Let's just keep doing that. We'll just keep making the Phalanx. Meanwhile, in Toldran, we've been focused primarily on Manticore Riders because we can make them in a single turn. So we're going to just keep on doing that as well. Over to Srock now. Now, we could do a Stables of Vigor and then start working on producing Manticore Riders as well. But that's a bit of a... There's a couple of things we need to do to get that going. So I think instead I would maybe like to just build maybe another Mounted Archer or something like that. I'm going to start kind of building a stack using this Phalanx as a base here. Along with this one, we're going to group them up and kind of make ourselves another army. Over to Parab. Now, Parab we've been using to make Phalanxes as well. But in this case, we've been enjoying our Goblin Phalanx who have greater lifesteal. And I'm not going to break that trend yet. I'm going to keep doing that because they've been very, very useful for me. Greater lifesteal makes a big, big difference. Now in Umboku, before we pick Umboku, I want to jump up here because these are the cities I've kind of neglected a bit. These are the Shadow Elf cities that I converted from the High Elves, and I did want to kind of finish developing these cities. So we now have access to this Lost Library and a Magic Academy as a result of that. The Tenebrious Citadel would give us access to the Shadow Elf Umbral Weaver Charioteer, which would be pretty cool. I think I'll do the Magic Academy so that our produced support units, which would include this Shadow Elf Storm Priest here, are going to be that much better. They're going to have +1 melee damage, +1 range damage, and +1 resistance. So we're going to produce that, and then we'll focus on getting some nice support units out of there. Meanwhile, in Nundioth, I think we're just going to go for our big Warlord class units here. We're going to try and produce those there. And yeah, I think we're just going to focus on that. Now, over to Umboku, as we didn't pick for Umboku. We'll do a Siege Workshop, just improve our production a little bit. Now to Bleg, I haven't really done a whole lot with Bleg. Again, we could do support units here if we wanted. Maybe another Siege Workshop, just get that production income a little bit better. We did have some options here for some of these units, but most of them I just want to kind of chill out. There we go. That's going to end our turn. Alright, so we'll end it there. We'll see kind of if anything crazy happens. I'm expecting that this group here isn't going to attack me, as I'm not quite in their domain of this dwelling yet for this quest. But I did group up my units kind of around Dominus just in case that happens. And again, in this battle, when I end up fighting against this, I'm going to really try to dominate this Frost Giant, as it doesn't have mind control immunity. You can see that here. Meaning that I'm going to be able to potentially get control of this unit if I play my cards right. I think what I'll do is I'll use my Blight Elemental to throw Weaken onto the Frost Giant, and then I'll try my best to use Dominus to move in and try and dominate the unit. That would be ideal if I could manage to get control of another Tier 4 unit like that, a Frost Giant no less. That would be quite exciting for me. Meanwhile, down here, I'm going to send this stack north and kind of to the west here, and I want to reclaim the city, the village of Lilac, which I lost maybe 10 or 15 turns ago, something like that. Oh, and here they are. That's kind of what I was expecting, that they might come out and try to attack me. So that actually makes my life quite a bit easier, as I don't have to try and climb over those mountains to get access to these units. So one other thing I can try to do as well is throw a curse. And I'm gonna have to be careful. I'm gonna really need to kill off the Frost Dragon before it's able to do any kind of super nasty damage to me. Now again, some of these units are kind of expendable, as it were. We're gonna drop a nice big heal. Actually, we're gonna throw Guarded by Flames on our Blight Elemental and put a heal on him. And then our big beetle is going to move up. Our flamer can kind of stay back, as he's a little bit worse for wear. So again, I'm fully expecting my units to get blasted by Frost here, which, as they're all fire units here, that's kind of not good. Very susceptible to it, as you saw there. Alright, let's try for the curse on the Frost Giant. We actually got it. That's going to improve our likelihood here of getting control of him a little bit. So now we're going to throw Weaken on that giant as well. Really try our best to get as much out of this as we can. Okay, now we're not quite in range to be able to blast that dragon with anybody else. However, it would be great to actually get in and try for some damage here. Again, we're going to lose some of our units, and that's okay. These are kind of expendable units. I'm really trying to put the hurt on the Frost Dragon in particular. I want to just get rid of that Frost Dragon kind of ASAP here. And then I can deal with the Frost Giant afterwards. Now, Dominus, I think what we're going to do with Dominus is move up and heal our Blight Elemental some more. And then we'll move our big beetle over here just to kind of defend a little bit. And then we'll bring our Flamer in. Nice defended area there. Alright, now what I'm hoping happens is that this Frost Dragon's going to kill off one of my units here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're in good shape now. So, now we'll move in like this to turn the dragon around. Ooh, nice hit there. Very, very good. And now, with this unit, it would be great to try to get a gold medal. Let's see, what kind of damage do we do? Not enough to get the kill. Ooh, almost with that critical, though. And our caster could move in and get the kill here. Fantastic. Okay. Now, let's see. Ooh, and we can't quite get in there. That's a real shame. I was hoping we'd be able to get right in and try and dominate him right away like this, but looks like we're not going to quite be able to. So instead, we're going to move in like this and try and hit him with the weakening breath. There we go. So he's been weakened again. That's going to help us. Alright, now he's going to move in and go after me a bit, I think. Oh, and you know what? I should have moved. That was a mistake. I should have moved Dominus there, and I ended my turn before I shouldn't have used Dominus to heal the Blight Elemental without moving first. So that was actually a big mistake on my part. So I'm going to have to sacrifice this Shadow Demon Larva, I think, which is kind of alright. That's what we'll have to do there. And you know what, we can try and immolate him as well. Why not? So I suspect he's just going to kill off the... Oh my gosh! Wow. So I guess all that extra blight damage kind of built up. So that's sort of unfortunate, but that was kind of hilarious when you look at it. Now we're also getting attacked by some... So that was a blunder on my part. I shouldn't have used Dominus the way I did there to heal that Blight Elemental. I should have just moved him closer. What that was, you got to see just how powerful weakening is when units do blight damage. Now this is going to be actually a somewhat tricky battle here, as these units do blight damage, but of course these Lost Souls are effectively immune to blight damage, as they are undead. So we're going to have to kind of work around that here with just our melee attacks, basically. Let's move in like this, do a flank hit, get the kill. And then I think what we'll do is we'll park one right there, and then we'll chill back here, such that we're able to move in and get a flank, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Okay, they're just going to sit in defense mode. That's actually kind of a smart move on their part, as you can see here with defense mode activated, they actually do have pretty solid defensive capability there. So I think what I'll do is I'll just park myself there. I'm fully expecting that they're going to kill off this one, but more where that came from. There we go. Alright, now let's just start kind of wailing on these things. Boy, we're getting... Our units are so happy thanks to all of our different buffs, like including the draft there, that they're just getting critical after critical. Making a big difference there. Now this Lost Soul's going to come back, so we're going to park there. Alright, perfect. And a nice level up as well. So we did lose that one, but we did get ourselves a Bombard out of the deal. And once again, our beleaguered, besieged Draconian Flamer here is going to need to retreat back. Keep these units at bay for another turn. I mean, it's going to have to be a few more turns, but... Yeah, it's a shame I didn't get a chance to try and dominate that Frost Giant. That was a bit of a missed opportunity, but I don't think it'll end up making that big of a difference in the end, as I can now produce Tier 4 units pretty much at whenever I want, especially in Toldran, where I can make Manticore Riders in a single turn. But it's never good to pass up good opportunities like that. If you can take advantage of them, they can actually make a difference for you and save you a bit of trouble in terms of having to then get all those Tier 4 units up to the front lines. I would have had a ready-made one there kind of ready to go, so definitely a bit of an oopsie. Oh, and look at that. We're getting attacked again by now. Ooh, unfortunately, now we've got units that have... These are additional elemental units that now have the ability to teleport using phase. So I think it's finally over. I think I'm gonna try and run away, but I don't think it's gonna matter here. Because now we've got ourselves units that are going to be able to phase in and attack us here. So it looks like we're going to finally have to give the city up. It's kind of a shame. I really haven't been able to establish myself in the Shadow Realm at all. Although part of that is just by choice, as I haven't really stayed consistently in the Shadow Realm with any of my stacks. Oh yeah, I think it's all done but the cry, and here comes the... And then next turn we're probably going to get a phase, I suspect. Here it comes. Oof. Unfortunate, but again, I guess I couldn't expect to leave him like that forever and continue to hold on to the city, so. Alright, so we completed the quest. We're going to accept the reward, which gives us a peace treaty, Naga Guardian, and a Choker of the Great Matriarch, which is a very, very powerful legendary jewel item. So we're going to take that reward. And you can see here, now we've got ourselves a Naga Guardian, which is the tier 2 pikeman unit, which has slip away and regrowth, so very, very capable of restoring its health. And then if we look here, it does benefit from some of my upgrades, like we've got martial arts on it now as well, and the draft and conqueror. So quite a powerful tier 2 unit. I'm very happy to have it. Now, let's see. We've got ourselves this Choker of the Great Matriarch. Let's see who needs jewel items. We've got 2 jewel items with Dominus. We've got 2 jewel items with Arcane. Eninia doesn't have any at the moment. Trugruck has a single one. Crognash has 2. So perhaps we send that off to Eninia here. Now, that being said, I believe that it also does provide... let's look at the elemental resistance on it. I believe it's fire and blight. Is that the case? Let's take a look again. Yeah, fire protection and blight protection. Eninia already has blight protection from her mount and a few other things. That being said, very shortly I think she's going to be swapping that mount out for something else. So we will send that to Eninia. Alright, so now we have to decide what to do next. I think we're going to just continue to make peace with this Naga dwelling. We're going to try and get them to become our vassal here now that we've kind of made peace with them. And we won't be super aggressive and try to hostile takeover or anything, but... Now, I was going to originally send Crognash around this way, but I think I'd rather send him up here and to clear out these structures up top, so... That being said, you know, it might actually be nice to have Dominus go up north, as we do have a tomb right here. However, Dominus is in a good position to actually start heading down and taking care of some of these other structures, so I think that's what we'll do with him. And, we'll send Crognash north. So Crognash can go clear this watchtower out. We'll do this battle manually because I want to try and dominate one of these units. Probably one of these initiates here. Either that or maybe this... Actually, we're going to go for the Stormbow. I'm going to try and grab that Stormbow if possible. Alright, let's just charge right in there and get real aggressive. Okay. So we'll step up like this. Blast the heck out of these bladesmen. Get the kill there. Very, very nice. Light up those ones there. Maybe we'll just even go for the kill rather than trying to dominate them. We'll just make ourselves some Shadow Demons here. Here we go. We'll move in like this, get the nice flank, and then move in with our Shadow Demon Lord. Get the kill. Our Harvester can kind of just move over here. That's pretty good. And we did take some damage there, so let's see if maybe we can rectify that a little bit. Drop a nice big heal on our Harvester. And we'll move in and get the kill. Alright, so that takes care of that watchtower, and that's going to clear up. Now you can see all of that fog of war is gone. We can now kind of see through it. Although we had explored most of the area, but it is nice just to be able to see kind of a little more clearly now. And I think we're going to send the rest of our units to kind of all start gathering on the road here, basically. Yeah, we're going to basically just do that. I suppose I could send one stack back if I wanted to maybe clear out these production resources and this Shrine to the Scarlet Destroyer over here. So, should maybe think about doing that. Use this little guy as a bit of a scout here. We're going to head down to this Shadow Gate. Don't think we've been through it. No, we haven't. So, yeah, we're going to head for that. Meanwhile, this Bone Dragon is just creeping closer and closer, which is excellent. Finally going to have him kind of in range here. And look at this. We've got a completely unoccupied city here. The outpost of Avernos, which doesn't have anybody in it. It's currently independent. I'm guessing this belonged to Galendil and was one of his cities, and he just didn't have anybody in it when he died. So we'll actually send this little guy over to grab that city. And then we'll probably migrate it over to Shadow Elves when we get the chance. We did get a level up here with Dominus. And we were working on just giving him additional casting points, I think, at one point. That was something we were doing with him. We did kind of upgrade some of his stats a little bit. You know what? Let's give him Cure Disease, because why not? And let's see, what other spells does he currently have? Weapon Kit, Siege Engine, Choking Fumes, Force Field. Doesn't really have any offensive type, like damage-dealing ones necessarily. So maybe we give him Flashbang as well, just so that he has something to do a little bit of damage with. And let's engage this battle real quick. I think we'll just do this one in auto combat. There we go. And yeah, we can advance like this. There we go. Dominus' little stack here is in good shape. We had a bunch of items arrive. Let's double check that. So a bow for Urkan, a spear for him. Although he now has this bloodthirsty claymore of the legendary warlord, so he's not going to really need that necessarily. And then we had a shield arrive for him, which he already has equipped. So I think we will sell that off. Let's just double check that everybody else already has a decent weapon. Yeah, we're already in pretty good shape in terms of everybody having at least something reasonable as a weapon. So we'll get rid of that one. Now, let's see what we can do here for scouting. Ooh, and look at this. We've got a stone giant here guarding this Heart of the Glades. Another stone giant guarding this Heart of the Glades as well. Kind of interesting. Looks like we got ourselves another independent city over here. Now, with this stack, the question is, do I want to try any of these really dicey battles? I think for the moment, I'm going to say no. However, it might be nice to actually have a Manticore Rider move up and join this stack, so I'm going to do that. Meanwhile, this Manticore Rider can fly up here. We're going to unify it with this group here once we get a chance. And this Knight was also going to head up and maybe join this group as well while we're at it. And yeah, this group here we're going to send straight up north as we're going for Lyrian here. Suppose we could do this Lost Library first. since we're kind of in the area anyway. Were we to do that, would we still be able to get there in a single turn? I believe so. The only problem is our units are actually kind of in not the best shape here. Some of them are fairly beat up. We would have to be very careful with this battle, as this would not be a gimme. We've kind of got all sort of melee sort of units that might be a little bit susceptible to some elemental damage. I think if we kind of lead with our knight, we'll be okay, though. We're just going to have to be careful of the fire damage there, because that conjunction in the House of Yaka is currently active, which means we're going to take some, potentially some pretty large punishment here. There we go. Got a nice kill right out the gate. Going to help us out quite a bit. Now, we could move up here and attack the priest. My only concern there is that if we do that... Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. We can actually start engaging these units in melee combat. Like that. Yeah, that's actually going to be really good. So we can throw on a war cry, charge in, get the nice kill, or big damage, I should say. We can tie up that evangelist. I'm a little concerned that this unit's going to then take some punishment as a being right up in there, but I think we'll be fine. We'll just charge right in. There we go. We got lifesteal on there to make a bit of a difference as well, so I think we're going to be okay. Okay, so they're pretty much all their units just did like healing of some kind or another, so nothing too crazy. There we go. Move in here and get a nice big flanking hit. Move in and get the finish. Excellent. Move in like this. Attack the dwarf evangelist like that. Kill there. Very, very nice. And then we can beat the heck out of those evangelists and clear that out really with almost no trouble. Some nice extra experience. And we got ourselves Death March and some extra knowledge income. Just very good for us. So now we'll head back to the city. We'll clear it out. We can also try and clear out this foundry, the ancient ruin. And then we'll head down here where I believe the undead that took the city were coming from. Try and clear that out. So Lyrian now has an arcane item forge, which is excellent. That's very, very nice for us. So now I can start producing items if I would like to, and I would like to do that. So there are now, I could start making items that actually benefit my specific heroes. So for example, we look at Urkan up here. Urkan is actually missing a helmet. So we could actually make Urkan a decent helmet of some kind if we're so inclined. I could also make him an item to dominate so that he can add units to his stack, which I think would actually be pretty useful for him as well. Let's see for helmets here. What could we give him that might be really good? Fearsome would be kind of cool, actually, to have on a helmet. So anytime an enemy unit performs a melee or touch attack against the enemy unit has a chance to be panicked. And that, obviously, we've seen how powerful that is in some of the other battles. Seeker is great if you've got a hero that's doing a lot of range damage. Yeah, aside from that, nothing too amazing for him. I think what we'll do instead is we'll focus right now on giving him some additional utility items. And we'll give him... Yeah, we'll give him a dominate item. We'll call this the Dominating Crest. It's kind of like a little Egyptian sort of artifact here. We'll call it the Dominating Crest, and that's giving him Dominate. So we will forge that. And then we're going to send that to Urkan, I believe. We now have Entwined by Shadows done, so as soon as we've got this Bone Dragon out, I'm going to cast that, I think, is my next step. Alright, so now let's go to the Underground, as we've got a few units that are in the Underground that we still haven't moved this turn. Now, Hininia here, we were going to go clear out this monster den, I think. But we can also use this Bard that we acquired to head up here. We've got a unit there that's going to be a bit of an issue. And we can pop up and see where we are. So we're kind of right in the middle here of the map. Unfortunately, we still haven't really encountered any of our opponents yet. So let's get this stack kind of unified here maybe a little bit. Let's kind of do this. There we go. Then we can group up like this. And let's do this battle. We'll do this one in auto combat. I suspect we might lose a unit or two. Oh, and we actually didn't. Everybody survived. Wow. Alright, and then we can keep on trucking here. And we've got the dwarves. I cannot remember if the dwarves are angry with us or not. Let's kind of see. I don't actually know if the dwarves are upset with us at the moment. Let's check our diplomacy here. I think the race that we've made, yeah, the most angry are halflings and high elves. So we declared war. They lost a city to migration. We've migrated 3 high elven cities. So it is, the dwarves are pretty much totally neutral to us at the moment. So the question is, do we want to just go for an aggressive conquest of the city, or do we want to try and be sort of diplomatic with them? We've got a ton of evil points, so we don't really have to worry about that at the moment. Kind of a interesting situation here. I think, you know what? I think we're gonna... Let me know when you're ready to talk. Maybe we'll do the... Let's open our borders and sign a peace treaty. Why not? And then we'll move ourselves up like that. So we will kind of make friends with dwarves, I guess. It's really going to be the halflings and the high elves who are not going to be too happy with us this playthrough. Everybody else, I guess, we're going to try and kind of keep on our relatively good side. Let's jump around a little more and see what other units we've kind of forgotten about. We did forget about this little guy and this stack here. So we've got Crognash and his group coming up north, so I'm not going to worry about going north. Instead, I'm going to send these units down to follow Dominus. Same goes with this unit here. There we go. Let's go back underground, as we've still got, I believe, Heninia to deal with. First, though, we'll do this little guy. We could have grabbed that gold, I suppose, but... Alright, so we've really got this kind of explored quite nicely, actually. There we go. Okay. Now let's jump back. Whoops. Back to the underground here. And let's take a peek at Heninia. So, we know where that goes now. That's not really too much benefit for us, so I think we'll just stay underground with Heninia for now. We'll take out these units here. Unfortunately, I don't think we can convert the Dire Bear, so this is just going to have to be a battle where we just kind of kill everything off rather than try to make some new friends. Alright, let's throw a Touch by Faith on our Phalanx. We can probably do some fairly nasty damage with our ranged units here while we have the opportunity. Do that a little bit. Do a little more here. And then we can step right up here. Get the kill there. And then we can send this phalanx around that way. Heninia can kind of move up here. Do some damage to the Flight Tusk Boar there. There comes that Dire Bear. Took quite a bit of damage, as you can see. Now we could try and convert that Kobold, I think. Kill off the bear there, no worries. Step up here and try and kill off the boar, not quite. Kind of unfortunate. And we can... Well, we don't really need to throw a heal. We really haven't lost a ton of health. Do that. We'll charge up here with our war cry on and just obliterate those units right there. Now we've just got that one kobold unit left who's gonna... Oh, I thought he was gonna suicide himself, but... Nope, I was gonna go for a convert there, tried it, didn't work. But we'll use him to get a little bit of life back with lifesteal. Alright, so that's nice and cleaned up here. We did get ourselves a helmet, which provides Warcry, and a pretty decent sword that gives +2 shock damage there, which is a little bit... Well, it's actually kind of comparable to what we've got there with Hininia in terms of damage. The only thing is that we then have shock damage instead of just spirit and physical, so I think we will equip that just for the differences there, and we'll grab that with Hininia, as we wouldn't normally get Warcry with her since she is a goblin, not an orc. Sell that off. Here we go. Okay. So nicely done there. So now we'll move up, grab that gold, and we do have ourselves a Ziggurat that we could think about potentially attacking. I would have liked to have gotten Divine Justicars before doing this battle if I'm going to do it. But we'll have to take a peek in there and see just what we're up against. Okay, so that takes care of Hininia. Let's go over to Trugruk now. So Trugruk was going to move in and go after this goblin city that's actually quite well defended, as you can see here. We've got basically just a ton of goblin big beetles. Again, remember that this stack, I do have Divine Justicars with Trugruk, so we don't have to worry all that much about losing units. So I'm going to do this battle. This will actually be pretty challenging. So they only have a single unit that's really of any consequence at range there, and that would be that Goblin Blight Doctor. So don't have to worry all that much about that. We're going to move ourselves up this way. We're going to throw a Touch of Faith on our Air Elemental. This is actually a pretty tough battle just because the sheer number of Tier 3 units I'm up against here. I'm fully expecting the Goblin Blight Doctor here to throw a weaken on my units when they get the chance. You know what? Let's do a Bestow Iron Heart here on the Blight Element, or the Frost Elemental, I should say. We'll send him up like this. Kind of a nice position, as then they have to come at him one at a time, which is actually kind of a benefit. Send our Big Beetle in to attack the gate, and we'll probably then subsequently get attacked. Then we'll move our Mystic in to provide some backup here. Alright, so now let's see what happens. I suspect we're going to start taking some damage here. Yep, there it is. Oh, fantastic. Just freezes him solid. Big critical hit. Did quite a bit of damage, as you see there. So let's do some big damage. Ooh, almost the kill. Fantastic. Move in with Trugruk here and just get the finish. Excellent. And we'll just keep our Frost Elemental right where he is. Really don't need anything else with him. Keep our Big Beetle here in defense mode. And you know what? We can even put our Grunt up on the wall if we were so inclined. We'll put our Air Elemental up like this. Get our Blight, our Grunt up on the wall. Now, I'm assuming a Weaken's going to come at us here. Yeah, there it is. Thankfully, we've kind of already buffed ourselves up quite a bit, so that's not going to be as deleterious for us. Although we do take more Blight damage as a result, so we do have to be careful. Alright, let's see here. We'll do some big damage there. Can we even maybe get the finish? Yeah, we can get the finish there. Then we can put ourselves over like this in defense mode. And then our Grunts can move up and get the finish like this here. Fantastic. We can step up with our Air Elemental like that. Big Beetle's kind of in rough shape, unfortunately. Again, we do have Divine Justicars, so if anybody goes down, it's no big deal. just as long as we win the battle. Oh, these extremely leveled up elementals are just incredible. And with the combination of freezing them solid or stunning them with shock, it's just kind of pick your poison. You're going to be in rough shape either way, basically. All right, let's try for this big beetle. Oh, we failed. Throw our war cry on and do some big damage there. Nice kill. Ooh, our grunt getting beat up on pretty good over there. Move in and drop a heal on our big beetle. And then we'll assist our grunt a little bit here. Get the kill. Very, very nice. Nice clean battle. Got it done. No losses on our part, obviously. And, you know, we can grab a little bit extra gold while we're here too. Why not? There we go. Okay, and we're going to just absorb this city, as it's quite a large goblin city. Going to be a lot of benefit of having this city in our domain. We're going to actually maybe even see if we can clear out this Forbidden Sanctum as well. That would be quite beneficial. And then also this Lost Library while we're at it. I think we'll move down, try out the Lost Library, maybe come back up, grab the haste berries, and then head up and try and clear out the Forbidden Sanctum. That's going to be the plan there. All right, let's see what other units we've still got to manage here. The Bard on the one hand here we can actually kind of send up a little bit. Ninny has kind of already done her thing. This unit we were scouting a bit. Now this unit went through the Shadow Gate underground. Okay. So we're just kind of taking a look at what we can find over here. This is, yeah, this is a dead end over here. Kind of a little island in the void here again. And let's kind of start moving our units some more here. We've got some additional units that need to kind of be moved around a little bit. You know what? That would be a good structure to clear out, so let's kind of start working on that. There we go. We'll start building our forces right there, actually. That's a good structure to begin trying to clear out here. This is just a gold mine. Again, it is in our... or it is just outside of our domain, however. But could be in our domain relatively soon if we develop this city a little bit further and go for a stone wall, for example. So we might as well start clearing it. Now, this group, on the other hand, I could head over and go for this Heart of the Blight, which would be kind of cool, actually. But I really do want to get them into the Shadow Realm here and to kind of start doing some work, hopefully. Unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to head straight north, so let's go west. Looks like we can at least clear out an ancient ruin. Now, for this Heart of the Blight, I'm going to use this stack that I'm building up to probably clear that out. Okay, so that takes care of most of this. Let's just jump around a little bit more. And we've got quite a few units now, so it's always worth just kind of double-checking, making sure that everybody's done what they need to do. You know what, we can head over here, we can do this battle. Let's do this one in auto combat here. Oh, and we actually lost our big beetle. Well, that's okay. Again, we're just loading this one up with Manticore Riders basically here as we got another one coming in. Not to mention a human knight as well to reinforce, so not a big worry there. Yeah, so we're just going to continue double-checking. Again, I think we've moved virtually everybody at this point. I want to do all that before I start picking any research or anything like that, as I want to make sure I've gained all the potential knowledge income that I'm going to have for the turn before I start making any of those decisions. So I think we're good. So now let's do our pick here. Hero Slaying. Instills the Empire's force with a burning desire to fight those regarded as the greatest warriors alive. The caster's units gain Hero Slayer. Units with Hero Slayer deal an additional +3 damage against hero units. Well, that's kind of cool. Nice strategic spell there. Conquerors Feast is another one, as I previously went over, that I'd like to get. We also have Relentless Army here. Gives, bestows all friendly units with Tireless in combat. That would be pretty cool as a combat spell there. I think we'll do Advanced Logistics, though. I want to be able to move a bit further on the roads here, so we're going to do that one next. All right. Let's see what else we've got here for some choices. So we're going to do production now. So back to Hrim, which is our capital city. That's our throne city. We are going to do a Grand Palace now that we're able to. Might as well just get some extra casting points. A little bit of benefit there. We'll keep making phalanx here because why not? Send this unit up here, and then we can send this one perhaps up maybe this way to help out with that stack there. I think that's kind of going to be good there. And then over to Toldran now. We're just going to keep doing Manticore Riders. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the approach we're sort of going with. Now, in the city of Srock here, again, we may actually want to grow the city a bit, so maybe we'll do a wooden wall and then a stone wall next turn after that. And that'll allow us to get this gold mine here and this inn as well, which will be additional benefit. And not to mention, we'll also get these haste berries, so just kind of more benefit for the city, why not? Over to Parab now. Once again, I think we're just going to continue doing the Goblin Phalanx units. Now up in our Shadow Elven cities, and again, we've kind of run out of gold a little bit. I may need to kind of slow my roll on all the reckless spending that I've been doing. I would like to get a Tenebrious Citadel going, as I've never actually gotten these Shadow Elf Umbral Weaver units before, and I would like to kind of see how they work. So, you know what, maybe we'll go back down to one of these other cities here, and we'll cancel what we're building. What are we building in Srock? We're doing the... Yeah, we're doing the wooden wall. It would be nice to get the wooden wall going. You know what, in Parab, maybe we'll do a turn where we don't build. We'll just do merchandise for a turn. That gives us enough gold now that we can start the Tenebrious Citadel. So now we can do that. Very nice. Now, unfortunately, we're so low on gold, we might not be able to build much of a road at this point. Alright, so if we're going to build the road, we want to go this way. So we'll go to here. We're almost out of gold, so I think we will do one more and then we'll tell him to just chill. There we go. Now he can just hang out. And that's going to end our turn, so we'll end it there. Boy, I'm really wondering where our opponents are hiding, because we're starting to get, you know, we're crossing the midline of the map, and we still haven't found the other three. I seem to recall that back in that first episode, I think one of them was a Shadow Elf, so we may actually have one of them in the Shadow Realm, and we might have to go hunt them down there. And then the other two, I honestly don't remember what they were. So they could be above ground, they could be underground, I have no idea. But again, I suspect they are over in this unexplored region on the west side of the map. So we're just going to keep on pressing. I think we're going to send Dominus straight over here for this Shrine to the Earthen Mother. And just kind of keep moving along the road there. Meanwhile, we'll... Oh, and look at this. So, ooh, unfortunately, we are under attack. Let's do this one manually. We might be able to actually handle this battle if we play this one kind of smart here. Move our Goblin Butcher up. Mystic is going to need to help out in this battle. So we didn't clear out everything around this city. And that's going to start posing some problems for us, as you can see. Must be a necromantic circle somewhere that's spawning these pesky lost souls here. We're going to just kind of let them come to us, I think. Alright, so there now. One of them has moved past the barricades, which means we should be able to kind of blast them here and get the kill relatively easily. Thankfully resisting that damage pretty well. There we go. Okay, so we will... I think we'll blast this one over here. Get the finish there and get the finish there. Now all that's left is to eliminate this Lost Soul and the Reanimator. So we will do this. And we'll charge in and get the nice big flanking hit. And then we can get the finish right there. Alright, fantastic. Basically didn't take a whole ton of damage and we successfully defended the city. Unfortunately, our Bard is under attack, so we're going to do auto combat and let that Bard be killed off. However, the Bard fulfilled its function as we needed to see where this cave entrance popped up on the surface, so it's good to know where that ended up dropping us. Let's initiate this battle here, and we'll do this one in auto combat. Very nice. Cleared that out for us. Get over here. You know what, we can even grab this cartographer's tent. Let's see what it shows us. Okay, so we've got ourselves what looks like an orc city over here. And it must belong to one of our opponents because I can't click on it, meaning that it's not an independent city. So we now finally have eyes on where one of our opponents is, although we still don't know which opponent that is at the moment. So we'll move back. We'll tell this stack to just hang out for now. Meanwhile, this little guy can jump up here. And our spearmen can continue moving this way. Here we go. Okay, so that was warning us about our domain invasion in our little goblin city here. Again, thankfully we were able to defend it without too much trouble, so that's quite nice. And again, Heninia, we want to maybe take a peek in here and see what this is going to entail. Ooh, boy. We got ourselves 2 golden dragons, 2 phoenix, and 2 draconian flyers. Golden dragon has spirit breath, strong will, golden dragon inspiration. Jeez, this is a tough unit to take on. This is effectively the good version of the Bone Dragon, where the Bone Dragon is the evil dragon, or I guess also the Obsidian Dragon would sort of fulfill that function. But we've then got the good dragon in the form of the Golden Dragon. So yeah, I guess the Obsidian Dragon is more the opposite of the Golden Dragon. I think we're going to skip this. If we had Divine... If we had Divine Justicars, I think I could probably justify trying it out, but it's just not worth the risk since we do not have that upgrade yet with Heninia. Now in this battle, I'm going to try to grab the Node Serpent if at all possible. I'm going to try for a convert on it, I think. I believe that works. I can't remember for sure, but I think I can convert Node Serpents, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so let's kind of set ourselves up here and do a touch of faith there. Again, I'm expecting the Node Serpent to come phasing in and going after my hero, or my priests in the back, maybe. And Inia's taking a bit of damage. I'm going to have to be really careful, actually. Might need to keep her back, actually, now that I'm kind of getting more involved in this battle. Step up like this, kill off the one there. And we can actually throw on a war cry, move up and attack the apprentice up there and get the kill. Quite nice. Step up. You know what? Let's step up even further. Do some real big damage there. Which our priest can then kind of follow up and hopefully... Ooh, unfortunately not going to get the kill unless we get... I mean, we could get a critical. Let's see if maybe we do. Nice, we did. Fantastic. Again, since we have such high morale, that's actually fairly shouldn't say fairly easy to get, but they're popping up reasonably frequently. And we'll attack like this. Excellent. And then with Heninia, I think what we'll do is we'll step up kind of like this, and we will do a Bestow Iron Heart. My big worry is the Node Serpent jumping in to attack Heninia. Yeah, there it is. Alright. Took some damage, but nothing too crazy. Alright, let's kill off that Apprentice. And then we'll try for the Convert. 50% chance. Ooh, and it resisted, unfortunately. Now we can do some big damage, and then get the finish with our Mounted Archer there. And then get the finish there as well. Excellent. Alright, well that takes care of that structure here. And we did get ourselves a Blessed Totem of Health, which I will take, as we do not have any jewel items with Heninia currently. So we'll give her that, which gives her extra hit points and some more regeneration, I guess. Not that she necessarily needs that, as she's already got tons of healing, but I'm not going to complain too much. Okay. Well, we're underground. Let's jump back over to Trugruk here. And we'll jump over to the Lost Library. These units have mind control immunity, so I'm not going to be able to really get control of them. So I think we'll just do this one in auto combat here. Yeah, there we go. We got Banish and 20 Knowledge. Pretty decent reward there. Ooh, and unfortunately we're one off. I was really hoping to be able to grab those haste berries and then head up here, but looks like we're going to have to wait to do that. That's okay. Alright, so we can start adding the units into that stack there. I mean, honestly, as it is, we probably are strong enough to do this battle, but I might wait to reinforce with one additional unit. Ooh, and up here we have ourselves a Bone Dragon, Wraith King, and a bunch of other units coming to say hi to Dominus there. Might actually be a decent opportunity for us to try and grab the Wraith King using Control Undead, so that would be really cool if we could do that. What I'm actually going to do, and I notice here we've got our Throne of Bone now ready to go in Ancinia Res. This effectively means now we can start producing Wraith Kings, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to start producing a Wraith King there, and then I might also make a Revenant Caster at some point as well, but I'm going to start making Wraith Kings who are going to have greater lifesteal thanks to Embrace Darkness, as they have lifesteal innately as well, so they're going to be very powerful, and they're going to be able to move across the open ground thanks to their floating, the fact that they're floating. And I think we're going to call it an episode there. We actually did, despite not quite encountering our opponents, we now know probably this is a city that belongs to one of the three. We just don't know which one. But we actually did get quite a lot accomplished this episode, as we managed to really build up our forces some more, and we're making good progress here. The snowball of our units and our power is really kind of coming along nicely, and we've been gaining quite a lot of research as we've been clearing out structures. We're just saving this one as episode 21. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.